about how long have you been in the studio? Like
Not long enough for my
not long enough. Like
We
about
only
how
spent
long?
6 weeks, something in that album.
recording and mixing.
We spent 6 weeks on our first album, Sweet Tambourine.
Yeah.
Maybe 8 weeks.
That was the first pull-off.
Yeah, our first album.
Most people spend about, I guess, 2 or 3 months. Michael Jackson, 5 years.
We want to re-record every song 15 times.
Recently, the trend in songwriting has been towards political and social issues, and for the most part, it seems that you stayed away from that. Is there a particular?
Well, because I think music should be like a painting. I'm more into Monet than, or I think it should be just a paint a picture. We don't have to paint a picture about, Sand and Easter or whatever.
So you think it's a lot of high school students aren't really paying attention to lyrics and songs.
I never paid attention. I mean, I just, if I like that.
So you'd rather just write about what relates to you than,
Yeah.
Sometimes when people try to get deep, it sounds really horrible too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, and back.
Yeah, do you guys prefer playing live or recording in the studio, each of you?
That depends on which member.
Well, I mean,
I prefer recording. I don't really like playing.
Playing live?
Yeah.
I prefer playing live under the right circumstances.
Like what?
Well, if you're going to headline, then it's got to be, a good hall where you have complete control of the situation. If you're supporting, it's got to be a good hall instead of playing a dingy club. If you're playing a club, you're really giving half of your potential. And I don't care if someone comes out and thinks it's good. They're still not getting the
If you're a band that
best.
can afford to get the right kind of monitors and stuff, if you're like, Wayne Chung or whoever, you can afford to make things sound right. But if you can't, the sound really isn't that good. You can't hear yourself sing a lot of times.
So you prefer recording in the studio?
Yeah.
Yes,
I've noticed a difference in mixing styles for a lot of bands nowadays versus, say, up to 4 or 5 years ago, when a lot of bands in England mix their records differently, it seems. I'm talking about, like, say they'll have their vocals up front, and then the guitar in the middle, and then the drums maybe down below, more in the background. It seems the new trend in music is to get the drums all the way up front, get the voice in the middle, and get the guitars down kind of in the background. And I guess that's kind of the trend towards dancing that's starting to form. I was curious if I noticed a change, and I don't know if you did this artistically or whether it was a productions effort, that the drum line seems to be stronger. The guitars, which when you had on 16 Tambourine, seemed really forward, where you were taking a step out with the guitars to show off your guitar talent, and the vocals were right up clear with the guitar, and the drums kind of just to keep the beat going. And on the new album, you're like taking a more dance approach. And do you consider it that way? Is it artistic or production?
That's kind of what the producer wanted to do. That's kind of stuff you leave to a producer.
Okay.
I guess.
So it was a production.
It was a production. Well, the type of. Yeah, we did make a conscious effort to make it more kind of dance.
Okay. So it was a combination there of both.
Yeah, just how it turned out.
Did you talk it over? Or did it just happen that
It
way?
kind of just happened.
Okay.
But you are right.
Yeah. Well, some people say you sound like the Smiths. Do you think that's an accurate description?
That's funny. We were talking about this today. Do we sound like the Smiths?
Yeah.
I don't think we do.
How about Prince? You're supposedly reminiscent of Prince, Simon and Garfunkel, and the Beatles. Much like all 3 of them or 4 of them.
I guess the Prince is kind of new. They were always saying the Beatles.
I think you guys are completely independent of all of them.
Yeah.
Well, but everybody's independent of everything, but then at the same time, you're always part of something. I mean, unless you like, just kill cats with nails on a record. I mean, that's the only way you're going to be independent.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's got a touch of something.
That's true.
And Prince isn't doing anything now that Sly and Family Stone wasn't doing 20 years ago. So, everything's
Except they didn't make movies.
except they didn't make movies.
what LA-based bands really influenced you the most? I mean, there's a lot of like, you know, X, the Go-Go's,
2020.
2020, and how, you know, what like clubs would you like to go to when we, you know, we were just short?
Starwood.
Starwood
And the Whiskey.
and the Whiskey.
I noticed that, like, you write all the lyrics, and I wonder if that was because, I mean, do you write the music first, do you write the lyrics?
I usually write like I'll sit down and I'll be taking a shower or using the blow dryer or something. And then something will come in my head like, la 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 la, and I'll start humming something I've made up, you know.
What's our next single?
So like a melody pops in my head, it has no words, it's just kind of like, da 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 da, you know. Then I'll go to the guitar and I'll kind of go grind the chords out and go da 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 da. And then I'll, you know, think of maybe something I've written down or some words, you know, the table is white, you know. And then it kind of comes together like that. Yeah.
Remember this and you can write songs just like this.
You over there, sitting down?
How'd you go about signing with IRS?
What was that?
How'd you go about signing with IRS?
Signing with IRS?
Curious about that too.
Um,
They chased us all over the place and we couldn't, you know, resist anymore.
Well, we were talking to a lot of records.
Well, when we put out our first EP, actually, they were interested, like, it was in '82, they were interested in the band, and then they lost interest. And then I think the president, Jay, who was the person who signed us, I think he felt maybe like, you know, he was a little, that we may have been hurt by the fact that he kind of lost interest in us. And then he came back around after our first album, and we were being pursued by a couple labels, but it's like, they really wanted to sign the band. They wanted to, they said, let's do it, and we said, okay. You know, and that's, you gotta, you know, it gets to a point where, you know, you've got to go with the person who cares about the band, otherwise you're just going to sit around and not get anything done. That's true.
Y'all look pretty young. Have you ever had any problems like attitudes, you know, like not being taken seriously?
That is really immature for 23.
We're all very immature. We're never taken seriously. That's why we're not successful.
Yes.
Do you have any songs that really, do you write them with meaning, or?
Okay, what has meaning to you?
I mean,
No, I just was wondering.
meaning is something that happened to you in your life.
Oh, like that? Yeah. The third song.
Something like
The third song on
Ball.
side one. Okay, the third song on side one is a direct something that happened. See, on the ball now, it's kind of fantasy.
Oh, okay. Susie, because then somebody knew.
No, that's it, but some are like that. Some are just make up things.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm missing some of these people on my right with the glasses.
I want to know, high school sports matches, so what kept you guys together going? Because I know a lot of big high school bands were just kind of closing out, and you guys managed to stay together.
That's a good idea. Well, we just did. I don't know. We just.
I mean, was
It was fun. We had fun doing it.
But was it ambition?
Yeah. We played a lot with the punk bands, like Brigade and these kind of punk bands. It was fun. There were places to play all the time. And I suppose you're right. Things could. It just didn't. You know, it didn't break up. It just didn't get it.
Down there.
Did you always plan to do music for a career, or were there other things you wanted to do?
And I wanted to do music myself.
I always did. I never, in fact, the first day I thought about going to college, I saw the big long line that you had to go into, like sign up, and I said, forget it. I said, I'm going to go in the music business for sure.
We're afraid of getting a real job.
What is the musical background? Like, were you in the high school band or jazz band?
Well, I started a band when I was like 13. That's when I started playing
You
bass.
started a regular band, or did you learn from instructors how to
I
play
had a
bass?
teacher, but then I was in the orchestra in junior high school. I used to play the big bass here with that. And, you know, I wanted to be like, you know, I really liked the Sex Pistols and Angel and Kiss, and I wanted to be like that. You know, I was influenced by, you know, the bands at the time.
And what about the difference?
Well, me, I played in a couple of bands, really taking me out. Had a few. You know, I didn't take a lot of lessons. I studied pretty much on my own. Maybe like a year of piano lessons. And that's about it.
I started, I guess, I took drum lessons, I quit, came back, I taught myself, and then for a short period, it's about a year, I started taking drum lessons again. Basically, just I'm pretty much self-taught. I mean, at 95%.
Most people that take lessons, if they really stick with them, then they're too good for rock and roll. So.
Same with me, I self-taught as well.
I think you learn a lot by listening to records that you like.
The best way, I think the best way to really learn to play is to play with other musicians. I mean, if you really are taking lessons, you kind of do get kind of above everybody else. It's kind of hard to kind of be garagey and fit in.
In the far back?
What kind of image do you project to teenagers? Do you want to project to teenagers? What kind of image?
Wholesome, moral,
Just say
American
no.
values.
Wonder Bread.
Really?
Yes.
Do you plan to do like any more offshoot type bands like Stones and Picnic or is that just kind of a
Stones Don't Picnic's going to play again. Boy, our singer moved to Sacramento, though, so we have to.
How do you feel like about the closing of Sam's or whatever? I mean,
Was it Barry Sam's?
Yeah, you missed
Yeah,
it.
it's a drag because, Stones Don't Picnic has to find another place to play.
yeah, it's true. As I was thinking.
I guess there's always a screen in places like that. We'll just come around. Yeah, it's fun to do when you have some spare time.
Sounds
Like we did this record and it was finished in August and it didn't come out till now. So I had like all those months to do nothing.
What would be your advice to other high school bands trying to get started? Is there anything you did wrong? Did you ever have trouble getting into over 21 clubs to play or Lonely Rivers or Unlimited?
No, but they just make you stand outside.
Yeah, we played a gig in Michael. Michael had to stand outside for the show until we started playing. Really makes you feel good about going on and playing the show.
But anything that you would advise me to do?
We've done everything.
Not
I swear we've done everything.
I don't know, don't try to sound so much like Bauhaus.
Try not to stick too much to what you like.
Rodney is like, he's a star maker. That's what I used to go up to a show and give them sets. Just you have to bother people like that, Bother everybody that works at IRS and just say, you deserve to be on your label. Be obnoxious, send tapes to everybody.
Just like people come up to us at shows and give us cassette tapes and say, you give this to Stuart Oakland? And I said, well, I'll try it.
When you were younger, were your parents supportive of your, or are they still supportive of your?
Yeah.
Parents are like, they're sometimes more band members than we are.
Parents are very supportive.
They have the bugs.
Buy your guitars and stuff for you when you were young?
Well,
Yeah, they bought my stuff.
They bought some when we worked for some.
The stuff we have now is ours, I think. But I mean, when we started, my first drum set, my parents bought me for $150. What a drum set!
You still have it?
Yeah, I still have it too. Great drum set.
You in front?